I wish that every time any of my enemies eat a soft food, they hear a crunch. Every time. That's certainly a wish. If I were a genie, I'd be concerned. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody? How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we're going to be once again looking at a subreddit that was recommended to me in the comments, because yes, I do read comments, and yes, I do take recommendations. Today we're going to be looking at r/foundsatan. I really don't feel like I need to describe what foundsatan is. It just is. You'll get the idea. You'll understand. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, also, yes, I am in fact wearing exactly the same clothes, exactly the same makeup as I was in the last video. It's because I'm recording them at the same time. I mean, not the exact same time. One is after the other. But I'm gonna be busy tomorrow because Leo is leaving me.
Actually leaving you.
He's going on work experience for 6 weeks, and I have to drive him there tomorrow. So I'm recording them both in one day because I'm not gonna have time. It's an hour drive there and back. Nearly an hour and a half there, and then I've got to get home as well. So I'm recording today. I'm making noise. This is why I'm getting rid of you. Anyway, let's take a look at the subreddit, shall we? This is the best screensaver because every time I get a notification, the Lord holds it up for me, and that makes me so happy. From text from mum, you're a disappointment. Couldn't have been a better text. Top 5 Minecraft tips. 1. Throwing items at cacti sends them to your spawn. 2. If you ever see a creeper, hug them to get free cake. 3. If you use hardcore, jump into hot cheese to get more health and hunger. 4. Lava turns diamond armor into netherite. 5. Build houses made of just crafting tables. I'm not really sure what is bad about 5, other than the fact that it would just be ugly, but... yeah, the rest of them are accurate though. You should definitely try them all out when you're playing Minecraft. Like, it's true, especially the hardcore one. The hot cheese helps. My ex is still logged into Twitter on my phone. I could be cliche and tweet, "I'm a douche, lol." No. Instead, every few days I will tweet something he would totally say, but he will never remember tweeting it. Slowly, the slightly out of place tweets will drive him insane. Victory. You are Satan. How to own your ex? Gaslight them until thinking they're insane by tweeting things on their Twitter that they don't remember tweeting. Interesting move. My sister made me what I thought was a delicious carrot cake, but was actually a meatloaf with mashed potato frosting. Edit, the leaves are made of American cheese. I could imagine that being tasty. Like, if you like meatloaf, you like mashed potato, and you like American cheese, it would be a tasty meal. However, when you cut into it expecting carrot cake and you see meat, you're gonna be concerned, and it's not gonna be what you were after. That's a sabotage. That's a sabotage, all right. Today I found out my 7-year-old daughter really did lie about my husband's other girlfriend as revenge for being grounded, and that he never cheated on me at all. We're well into our divorce proceedings, and he won't forgive me for not believing him when he denied it. FML. I think this has appeared in a previous video of mine, but like, that 7-year-old daughter is Satan for sure. But like, you can see this from both perspectives, right? Of like, the perspective of the wife is that I feel like you would have no reason to believe that your 7-year-old is lying about your dad having another girlfriend, and you probably would believe your 7-year-old, and like, of course, if your husband did have another girlfriend, he would deny it, right? So from the wife's perspective, you can see why she would believe the 7-year-old and why she wouldn't believe the husband saying it's not true. And then from the husband's perspective of this is not true and the 7-year-old is lying, you can understand why that would feel like a betrayal of trust to you, that your wife wouldn't believe you and wouldn't like believe that you didn't have a girlfriend on the side. Like, it's a rough time for both people involved here, and the 7-year-old caused all of it. Want to prank your friends? Freeze Mentos in ice cubes. Serve them time bomb sodas. That's a pretty good one. I feel like you could do this with lots of other things that you could like freeze into ice cubes. I was gonna try and think of some funny pranks of what you could freeze into ice cubes, and the first thing that came to my mind was cum. Don't prank your friends by freezing cum ice cubes. Don't do that. That's not okay. Other things, maybe. Other flavor things. Put a milk ice cube in your friend's drink, you know? Various things you can prank them with, but don't freeze cum and put it in your friend's drinks. I also wonder if, because obviously a huge thing is the material of the Mentos holds air, which causes a lot of gas to be released. And I wonder if having that Mentos sat in water for a while would make that not work. If anybody has tried this, let me know. I'm genuinely curious. But freeze other things in ice cubes, because that will be funny, but don't freeze cum. Don't do that. Replace a semicolon with a Greek question mark in your friend's JavaScript and watch them pull their hair out over the syntax error. Now that one's evil. Those are the exact same symbol, but they don't mean the same. That's evil. That one's actually evil. You are actually Satan. Equally, go into the config of the person's computer and replace the semicolon that their keyboard produces with that same thing, so that they're seeing themselves typing a semicolon and it's coming out as a Greek question mark, and they'll never understand why. Equally evil prank that permanently pranks them with everything they produce in the future. That's real evil though. That's real evil. Turn on all cameras. This button instantly turns on the cameras for all 86 participants. Do it. Do it. I don't know what software that is for video calls and if it actually has that feature, but that feature is evil. And I hate that anybody would give the owner of the call the option to do that. I am very lucky in that if I don't want my camera on in a video call, it's a physical external DSLR that I can turn off. But man, imagine you're just sitting there like in your underwear because you're working from home and no one's gonna see you, and then someone just turns on your camera and you're just sitting there like tits out on your bed in your underwear. I would not have a good time. Travel tip. Frustrate every employee at a Canadian airport by responding to their hello bonjour with hello bonjour, forcing them to guess which language to proceed in. That one's just mean. That's just mean, but also quite funny. They've got a 50-50 choice at that point. I guess the question they could then ask is, what language do you speak? They could ask you that, but what language do they ask you that in? Like, how do you say, do you speak French? Is it like parlez-vous français? I need to Google this. I need to know if I'm right. Parlez-vous. Oh, my keyboard has stopped working. Parlez-vous français? It means, do you speak French? I was correct. Cool. I know how to say, do you speak French in French, but I don't know how to speak French. This is not a useful skill. I guess parlez-vous anglais would be, do you speak English? So I've gone on a big old tangent here. President Lyndon B. Johnson owned an amphibious car, the Amphibicar, and used it to scare guests by driving them into his lake screaming about brake failure. That's genius. Also, I want an Amphicar. That sounds fun, and it looks like a cool car, but just the brakes aren't working, you scream as you're driving into a river. Like, that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, I am so warm right now. I am sweating. I hate summer. I want to record an audiobook that's 8 hours of breathing and page turning, then just, oh, you mean out loud? Right at the end. No one's gonna get to the end, but I want to know what their reaction would be if they do. That's funny. You can't tell me that's not funny. You're wrong. You're lying. Stop lying. Stop it. Stop. My neighbor has an unsecured wireless printer. I just sent this document to it. Hello, I am your printer. I have become self-aware. Feed me ink or I'll print your search history when your wife is home alone. That's just rude. That's just mean. It's just mean. Also, if the wife sees this, what's her reaction gonna be? Like, to immediately ask him about his search history? Like, that's pretty mean, you know? That's pretty mean. Maybe not as mean as like putting cum cubes in your friend's drink, but that's still pretty mean. Whoever designed this floor is evil. That's a flat carpet. Imagine you're like a couple of drinks in as well. Like if I ever ran a bar, I would carpet the bathroom floor like this so that someone that's like getting pretty drunk walks into the bathroom and just sees this. You're gonna trip up walking on that carpet, whether you're sober or drunk, but if you're drunk, it will be so much worse. I used to work on ships. I had a 6-week on, 6-week off schedule. Every time we would go home, we'd receive a list of everyone's flight details. We would prank other colleagues by selecting a bad seat for them, selecting food preferences so they'd receive a child-sized gluten-free vegetarian meal or something like that. This one time, the first officer fired a third officer because he was lazy and arrogant as fuck. The first officer absolutely hated his guts and was counting every second before he would finally go home and never see that guy again. Our trip home was scheduled from South America to Europe, a 12-hour flight or so. I was kind enough to pick their seats for them and sat them next to each other so they could spend some quality time on the plane for their last moments together. Holy shit, Satan. Yeah. That's cruel. That is cruel. That's gonna be an awkward 12 hours, probably resulting in violence. That's cruel. And the final post. I finally found the bottom right corner of the Excel sheet. It's XFD 1048576. Pro tip, change the font color to white, put a 0 in that box, and if someone tries to print out the document, it will eat a ream of paper. Great pranks for the office. And like, it's funny because it would take a million years to print all that paper, but also it's kind of harmless in that, like, after it's printed all the documents you're trying to print, it's not going to use any ink because it's just going to be printing a white document, but it's still funny. Actually, do Excel spreadsheets print the grid? Because that could just be thousands of pages of just the grid. Okay, they would be blank then. That's still funny though. That's still a pretty funny prank. I appreciate that one. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. As always, if you would like to support me and support my channel in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on the join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge special thank you to all of the people that do support the channel, all of my YouTube members and patrons that do support me. It means so much and it helps so much. So genuinely thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.